A Tale of Two Cities, a historical epic. In the heart of Europe, two cities separated by a mere 21 miles stood as symbols of contrasting destinies. Paris, the city of lights, a beacon of culture, art, and revolution, and London, the foggy metropolis, a hub of commerce, empire, and tradition. Their stories, intertwined by history, love, and war, form a tapestry that spans centuries and shapes the modern world. The 18th century dawned upon Europe, an age of reason and revolution. In Paris, the salons of the aristocracy buzzed with intellectual discourse. Philosophers like Voltaire and Rousseau challenged the divine right of kings and advocated for individual liberty. Meanwhile, across the Channel, London was a bustling metropolis, fueled by the Industrial Revolution. The city's growth was accompanied by a surge of scientific innovation and a thriving literary scene. In 1789, the French Revolution erupted, a cataclysmic event that would reverberate across Europe. The storming of the Bastille, the Reign of Terror, and the execution of King Louis XVI marked a turning point in history. The revolution's ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity inspired revolutionaries and reformers around the world. Napoleon Bonaparte, a brilliant military strategist, emerged from the chaos of the revolution to seize power. His ambition led to a series of wars that engulfed Europe. Napoleon's armies marched across the continent, conquering vast territories and spreading the revolutionary ideals. His invasion of Russia in 1812 proved to be a fatal mistake, leading to his downfall and exile to the island of Elba. As the Napoleonic Wars raged, a new artistic movement, Romanticism, flourished. Artists, poets, and composers sought to escape the rationalism of the Enlightenment and embrace emotion, imagination, and nature. In Paris, Victor Hugo's Les Miserables captured the spirit of the era, exploring themes of social injustice, love, and redemption. The Industrial Revolution transformed London into a global powerhouse. Factories sprang up along the Thames, and the city's population exploded. The newfound wealth and prosperity fueled a cultural renaissance with the rise of the Victorian era. However, the Industrial Revolution also brought with it significant social problems, including poverty, child labor, and pollution. The Victorian era was a time of great social and economic change. Queen Victoria's reign was marked by a sense of stability and progress. The British Empire reached its zenith, spanning vast territories across the globe. However, the Victorian era was also a time of great inequality and social unrest. The working class faced harsh conditions, while the aristocracy enjoyed immense privilege. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Paris experienced a golden age known as the Belle Époque. The city was a center of art, culture, and fashion. The Eiffel Tower, built for the World's Fair of 1889, became a symbol of modern progress. However, beneath the surface of the glittering city, social tensions were brewing. The outbreak of World War I in 1914 shattered the peace of Europe. Millions of soldiers were mobilized, and the cities of Paris and London were subjected to heavy bombardment. The war had a devastating impact on both nations, leaving a legacy of trauma and disillusionment. The years between World War I and World War II were a time of great political and economic turmoil. In Paris, the French government struggled to recover from the war, while in London, the British Empire faced challenges from rising nationalism and decolonization. The Great Depression, which began in 1929, exacerbated these problems. The outbreak of World War II in 1939 plunged Europe into a new era of conflict. Paris fell to the German army in 1940, and London endured a relentless air bombardment. The war was a time of great suffering and sacrifice, but it also brought together people from all walks of life in a common struggle for survival. The end of World War II marked a new beginning for Europe. The creation of the European Union and the Marshall Plan helped to rebuild the continent and foster economic cooperation. Paris and London emerged from the war as major cultural and political centers. However, the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union cast a shadow over the post-war era. The stories of Paris and London are inextricably linked by history, love, and war. These two great cities have witnessed centuries of change. From the Enlightenment to the Age of Information, their rivalry and cooperation have shaped the course of European and global history. As we look to the future, it is clear that the legacy of Paris and London will continue to inspire and influence generations to come.